So in this video, we're going to look at an actual blog post. This could also be on just a regular web page on your site, but some of the components of it, like for example, the title of the web page or post is at the top right here. So the title of this web page is Indian Tea Regions of the World of Tea. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at are headers, so H1 to H6 headers. So this post or this web page may not have all the different types of headers, but let's look at this one. So history. So let's click on it, and if you notice, so I guess the first thing we can look at is this web page is made up of blocks of content. So every time we click on a block, there's a little menu bar that pops up on top. So when we click on the word history, this little menu bar pops up on top. If you notice on the very left-hand side, we have this little tag here. That, if you click on that, it tells us that it's a heading. It's actually a heading. And if you notice, there's an H2. So it tells us what kind of heading it is. It's an H2. If you click on the H2, we can change the type of heading it is. If you want an H1, it's actually going to be bigger. If you want it to be an H4 heading, it's going to be smaller. So that's what's meant by heading. So H1 to H6, there's 6 different levels of headings. Usually the headings help organize the content on your page. So usually the largest heading size is the title. So our title is usually the largest. Then the second largest is like a subheading within the content, and below each of those subheadings we're going to have the smaller heading titles. That's where the H3, H4, H5, and they're all nested within one another. So in this case, history was H2. Now let's look at 1850s. That's another heading, and it's smaller. It's H4 because it's a subheading of history. So those are our headings. So we have our title right at the top. We only have one title on a page, and then we have headings. Usually after that, we have subheadings that start at H2, and then anything under an H2 heading would be something like an H3, H4, and so forth. Next, let's look at this image. I think this is the only image in this post. So if we click on the image, and then let's see, right, okay. So click on the image, and we're going to click on the right hand side. We're not going to look at post, we're going to look at block. So in this case, our block is the image, and if you scroll down, we see image settings. Underneath it says alt text. So in this box, it refers to alt text, refers to alternative text. So for example, if this image doesn't pop up, we want some text to appear. So Google, and when it's crawling, it still has some understanding of what is there. Actually, Google, all these crawlers can't see images. The only thing it can see is words. So having alternative text to really describe that image is important, and that's again where you want to include your key phrase or keywords. So in this case, the alternative text I put for this image is picture of tea plantation in India. So it gives a description of what the image is, and now when Google's crawling and crawls this post, it understands that there's an image of a tea plantation in India. All right, so next, I think we have time for it. We're going to look at what anchor text is. So if we look at this post, we notice that there are a couple of words, Assam, Darjeeling, are underlined, and if we hover over them, it looks like we can click on it. So this word Assam is referred to as anchor text, similarly for Darjeeling. So if we scroll down a little further, let's see if we have any other anchor text. We do. Under references, T102, Academy of Tea, again, it's underlined, and it looks like we can click on it. That's also called anchor text. So in the next video, I'll explain a little bit more about anchor text and what its purpose is.